Namaste, Shri Matre Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. Today, in the series of the Stillness Silent Sundays with Shri Bhagwan Ramana, I am sharing with you from this book that I'm reading. It's called Practicing Who Am I by Mr. Anil Sharma ji. So, very many years back, almost 8 years back, I received this book from the author himself in person, and it's been a wonderful delight to actually go back to reading the finest tenets of the teachings of Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi. So we all know that he actually gave us a few set of points which were or which encompass the technique of who am I, or the Vichara, Atma Vichara method of who am I, or the Nanyar that is popularly known as. So these are a series of 28 to 30 points or questions which were actually put forth by M. Shivaprakasham Pillai in the year 1902 to Bhagwan, when Bhagwan was staying in the at Arunachala. And Mr. Pillai, who was a graduate in philosophy, asked these set of very basic questions which Bhagwan answered one by one. And since then, they have been put together into small booklets, which are now available in almost all the languages of the world, published and printed at Ramanashramam. And you can have them in your language, and you can slowly read each of the answers and questions, which are very fundamental basics on how to practice the Atma Vichara method. So basically, the inquiry method is uh, uh, is something that scares us, that really puts our wits to end. And I have myself been challenging to understand and apply Bhagwan's teaching for almost a decade now. And many times I literally scratch my head and I just fail at it, and then I just go back to Bhagwan with tears in my eyes and I say that I cannot do this. I feel that I am not qualified. I am not equipped. My pratyahara, my concentration to bring back myself to the to bring my attention back to the self keeps waxing and waning. So what should I do, Bhagwan? At that point, I really break down and I seek his help. And at every such point of surrender, I have found that Bhagwan has lifted me, inspired me, and prodded me to continue doing the journey, no matter how difficult or disappointing sometimes it may sound. But the technique is basically to retrace every thought that comes to your mind and ask the fundamental question, to whom has this thought arisen? So in the back tracing of this thought, the answer to this question is always going to be, the thought has arisen to me. So the next question is going to be, who am I? And this Bhagwan says that we have to practice relentlessly. At every thought that emerges, we have to ask this question, to whom has this thought arisen? And when we ask that question of who am I, then we will be able to slowly come to the point of the silence or the shunyata, because at the backtracking of every thought, we can identify that we are not the mind that asks the question or has the thoughts, but our principal reality is the pure Nirvikara self, which has no color to it, which has no form to it, which has no conformational reality to it, and yet it stands there like a eternal truth. So coming back to that silence, coming back to that self, by doing a neti method or a filter application method where the wrong identities of who we are slowly and repeatedly removed, lead us to the pure principle of the self. So I will continue to keep sharing about the more and more tenets from question and answers from this particular set of the book, Who Am I? And thank you very much. Have a beautiful and blessed Sunday.